Amazing. Welcome, 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 everyone. People are joining this incredible experience where we're going to be discussing with two incredible thought leaders of our times. We're going to be discussing how to heal yourself and how to heal through the community. But of course, in the SOMA Breath style, what we're going to do first, before we do the introductions, we shall be dancing. So please make sure you stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Give yourself this space, this moment to be, in the music, in the vibrations. Just confirm with me. Can you hear this? Yes. Connecting to the music, connect to your breath, breathing in and breathing out, and feel the vibrations. Yes.
so far. I wanna be where you are. Such a work of art. When I'm with you, it's a celebration. You always have my appreciation. Your body, mind, and your conversation. Your spirit flies and it's so amazing.
Yes, yes.
Officially welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Make sure you find yourself in a seated position. We're not going to start with a breathwork journey today, but just allow yourself to be right now in the presence of so many amazing beings, so many incredible people that have joined this Zoom call. And also, if you're on YouTube right now, welcome, but please use the link on YouTube and join us on Zoom, because on Zoom, on YouTube as well, but on Zoom, you'll be able to put more interaction as you'll be part of this community, this tribe, and all the questions that you'll be asking throughout this entire experience will be then, hopefully, all of them answered. If not, not to worry, we have a backup plan. Okay. My name is Piotr Ciepiel. I'm a SOMA Breath Master Transformational Coach, but today I'm your host, and I have the absolute pleasure to invite you all to this webinar, healing yourself and healing your community. And it is just such an empowering moment in time as well to bring two people like Niraj Naik and Tony Cho to this webinar to really bring out the light through the community, through sustainability, and to bring in people together. How are we all feeling right now? Perfect. Please use the chat already now. Use the chat and type in where you're tuning in from. And just express as well how you're feeling in the chat, because it's just all about connecting the world. And through the interactive chat, you will feel as well how we're all connected, although we're via Zoom. But listen, I am right now in London, United Kingdom. Niraj is in Copenhagen. Tony, I don't know where you are, but you're probably going to share in a moment where you are. So the world is big, but actually Zoom allows us to be together on this special occasion together. So I hope you love this track, you love the movement, you love tapping into the body, because that's what SOMA Breath is all about. So now, healing yourself and healing your community. Ladies and gentlemen, Niraj Naik, founder of SOMA Breath. If you don't know who Niraj is yet, he is the creator of a global community of heart-centered change makers, way beyond breathwork, as I always like to say. More than 2,500 certified instructors, hundreds of thousands of students around the globe are breathing together in beats, because this guy is a phenomenal DJ. He used to be a pharmacist, and he's using it all now, mix and blends it all together for SOMA Breath to now explode and be this global movement. So that is Niraj. And then, of course, we have Tony. Tony is the founder of Cho Ventures, and he is the co-founder of Future of Cities, the climate and innovation hub in Miami. But he's also so much beyond that, because he is truly an impactful leader. And I have seen the documentary where both of them have been featured. The one that most of you probably seen, if not, it's called The Road to Utopia. And the beginning of today's segment, the intro video, was snippets of exactly that documentary series, Road to Utopia, that explores how to build a more sustainable world. And what I love about Tony as well, that his work blends ancient wisdom with modern lifestyle, creating spaces that heal, inspire, and regenerate communities. How are we feeling about that? Are we ready to be part of communities, to be part of these communities? I mean, let's truly make it happen. And this is exactly the moment in time where we can all connect and we can all see the impact that we have as individuals, the ripple effect on the world, because we breathe together, we are together. And then what Tony said beautifully, which I just loved, by the way, success moves at the speed of trust. Boom, mic drops here. Yes, right? Success moves at the speed of trust. So I'm sure that we're going to have plenty of nuggets that you're going to be just taking in today. Be very present. Try to really listen with your heart. And then throughout this entire journey, use the chat, ask any questions, and I will be then moderating the questions and bringing them to Tony and Niraj. Niraj, are you ready for me to hand over the mic to you, my friend, my brother?
Amazing. All right. Thank you, bro. So cool to be here. Welcome, everyone. And want to invite Tony on to join the spotlight. Okay, we both on the videos? Yep. So this is a special edition conversation rather than a formal webinar. And we're going to be kind of giving our insights from being community builders. And I really want to speak to Tony as well about, the things he's working on, which, is inspirational for everybody who wants to be involved with being a part of or creating some kind of a community that it is like how we could live in a utopian way. And there's models of that, and there's proof of that, and there's existence of that. So we want to inspire everybody that there is ways to live in harmony and community together as one. And it's going to be all revealed to you today. So Tony, welcome. You want to unmute yourself? Yep.
You go. Yes, happy to be here. And I just am so grateful that you guys started this webinar with some movement, getting in your body, because we're so connected digitally. And, that's not normal for us. We weren't intended to live the lifestyle that we're living now, connected to devices, sitting in front of screens. We were intended to live in community, be able to actually touch people, hug people, and there's this whole movement afoot now around revillaging and rewilding our cities and our communities because we become so disconnected, and there's an epidemic of loneliness. And I think a lot of it has to do with technology and our lifestyle. So thank you for getting in inspiring us to get up and dance and be in our body and embody what community feels like. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I felt instantly connected to all of you.
Yeah.
And I've never met any of you, you know, for the most part. And frankly, Niraj and I haven't met in person. We've been
Yeah.
connected, so many overlaps. We were in this amazing documentary that was co-produced with Alessa Berg, our friend from Top Tier Impact, and is now on Amazon Prime, called Road to Utopia, which there's an episode on Niraj and the power of breath and the amazing work he's doing with SOMA, and you know the work that we're doing with Regenerative Communities, Future of Cities, and Chosen Retreat. And community is my medicine. That's what we say at Chosen Retreat. Nature is medicine, food is medicine, community is medicine, and dance is medicine,
Yes.
as you just so beautifully demonstrate, Niraj. So it's a pleasure to be here with this beautiful community, feeling connected with you all. I'm feeling a very beautiful vibration just from the energy that we're feeling through the internet and through technology. It's a beautiful thing to be part of.
Great, yeah, and the track is a new track I produced called "Amazing," and it's with co-produced with myself and one of our instructors called Marv Radio. So if you want to check it out, for those of you on this call who haven't heard it yet, and you haven't done it yet, download the SOMA Breath app, and there in the music section you'll find that song. All right, and SOMA Breath is all about the music. It's all about the getting in the body. Soma means body, and there's nothing better than a group of people coming together and celebrating life with the dance, a dance church. And actually, so where I am right now, Koh Phangan, I've been coming here for almost like 9 years now, and around 8 years ago, me and my friend Tristan started this ecstatic dance community. It was more Tristan who started it. I was doing the breathwork stuff. And then I made it into a breath rave. So I used to bring breathwork into the dance, and that became a breath rave. And we started this thing in this giant meditation pyramid here in Koh Phangan, where it just started with about 20, 30 people coming every Sunday at 11 a.m. It was like a little dance church. And now it's grown into 700 people plus, all dancing and going completely insane together. And actually, I just want to play you a clip because this is what living in community can be like when it's done right. So I'll get this ready, but what was amazing here in Koh Phangan was how after this many years, still every Sunday, people come and dance together as one. It's incredible. And all the, issues between people, all the conflicts, all the disagreements, all the inhibitions, all of the, the judgments all die when people get on the dance floor. It's all gone, right? So that's the magic of these sorts of dance ceremonies. And what is just, so special about when people come together, when they're like-minded and have the same vibration, and that's what I've been seeking out for a long time, is how do we bring together people who can make an impact, a difference in the world, and do it, as a joint place. Because I know the magic that can happen when we're all together in the same location. It's phenomenal. Like Mind Valley is an amazing community. I think we have a lot of crossover from the Mind Valley community. And Mind Valley is an amazing example of the magic that can come from very like-minded people coming together. It's phenomenal. The energy, the inspiration, the ideas, the experiences, the relationships. Like I met my wife through the Mind Valley community. My wife is now, we have a baby. We're here together in Koh Phangan, but we met 8 years ago at Mind Valley community. And even in SOMA Breath, we have people who have, hooked up at retreats and they're still together, right? So, love happens, magic happens, creativity happens, inspiration happens. So, Tony, I'd love to just really learn more about your story. And like, I'm coming here with, like, let's say my big mission, my ambition in life is I want to bring this virtual community that we've got, SOMA Breath, to a space where we can all live together in harmony as one. Who would love that? Who would love that there was a place where you could go to, we're all living in nature in harmony, we're coexisting, co-creating, and co-inhabiting. Let me know who's in for that. I think it's a rhetorical question, which is going to get a lot of yeses. Of course, right? We all want this. So Tony, how do we do this? How do we make that real? Where are we at in terms of the way the world is and where things are going, in that being a possibility?
Well, thank you, Niraj. And I think what you're doing is beautiful. And it is spirit work to bring community together. And we both share, some crossover in our background. We were both in entertainment and nightlife. And I grew up sleeping on the temple floor of an interfaith ashram that was started by my grandmother in Central Florida in the 70s, and, was force-fed meditation and yoga. But really, the most beautiful aspect of it was the community, eating together in community, every meal, celebrating every birthday and anniversary, every passing of life and celebration of life. And, that had really informed me, in spite of me choosing my own path, the chosen path, which is really, we encourage people to choose their own path as long as it's in balance with nature and in right relationship with community. It's interesting to see how this has all evolved, because I went from being the grandson of a guru to being a nightlife character and personality and promoter in South Beach and in Argentina in the 90s. And this was the heyday. And I discovered ecstatic dance and ecstatic community, in my late teens and early 20s. And, the spiritual community I had grown up with didn't understand that aspect of community. And many people perceive nightlife or entertainment as a dark place. But I always saw so much light, particularly in the community aspect of it. And so my mission has always been informed by community. And after nightlife, I got into co-designing and creating and curating and shaping neighborhoods in the Wynwood Arts District in Miami, working with artists and using the warehouse as my canvas. So I became a real estate broker, then an investor, and I always integrated my past of growing up on the ashram and my experience in nightlife to continue to bring people together in an intentional and in a conscious way. And I've been involved in communities from Burning Man to Mind Valley to Chosen now, and reinventing kind of what does a modern version of community look like. And I really think that we're in an era where, like Thich Nhat Hanh said, the Zen Buddhist master, who's one of our inspiration, community is the new guru, right? It's the collective frequency that we're all co-designing is the new teacher of our era. It's no longer one person above or below another person. We are now all equals in this journey together to create coherence and to create mutual respect and co-evolve together in a way that's fulfilling. And so with this expanded reality of the hyperconnectivity that we live in with social media and the digital age, we can get very lost. And so I think, in-person IRL experiences are very important for people to ground in a community, to be able to connect with your global family, but really to go deeper with a select group of people. Dunbar, the anthropologist, always believed that humans were capable of only having 150 deep relationships. And so I think when we think about how we design our lives and what fulfills us is those substantive, deep relationships. And so my main business and focus now with the future of cities is to impact the lives of 1 billion people through innovation in the built environment and leveraging regenerative placemaking as a co-evolutionary framework that's putting community, nature, and culture as the 3 main pillars. And so I'm publishing a book later this year, which is going to be amazing, on regenerative placemaking, We had our TV shows that have come out, these episodes, and I encourage folks, if you're in the US, to watch it. It's really informative, and some really great visionary leaders, from the Green School to Aubrey Marcus to Niraj, to Marcos Balacio in Bali, who's doing incredible work in biomaterials and upcycled materials. There are incredible people all over the world that are doing amazing things. And I think the mission at our retreat center, which is now on the same land where I grew up on the ashram, is modernizing and reinventing the commune or the ashram experience, where it's really focused on the needs of the time, which is, more connection to nature, more connection to community, living close to the land, growing your own food, being resilient, being self-sustaining. 2 weeks ago, we do these monthly artisan markets. We brought over 1,000 people from the local community, provided free music and entertainment, and supported 30 vendors. So creating this guild and this circular economy, going back to the revillaging concept of bringing people together and helping to support one another. And that's true resilience. And I think in community, if you really have authentic community, you will never be alone. You will never be hungry. You will never be sad, because you will always have that safety net of someone who is there for you. And there's such an incidence these days of suicide and loneliness that we have to form these units of community to help support one another. That's what we were meant to do. That's our life's purpose, and our mission is to have these communal support structures. And so to me, community is everything. Community is the teacher. Community is the inspiration, and it's our main pillar at Future of Cities. And within our chosen soul family, that we're now going to be building a larger community. And like you said, it's great to be in person. And so we have these lighthouses all over the world, like the communities that you're building in Ibiza and Tulum and Costa Rica. There's so many lighthouses forming around the world. And it's about supporting each other and really sharing best practices of what works and what doesn't work. Because, I'm in a condominium building in Miami Beach here, and it's a luxury building. And I said at the board meeting last night, I said, this is like a luxury kibbutz. I said, because we're all living in community, but you don't realize that we have to be civilized in the way that we interact in the lobby, and we have to be respectful. And there's certain rules and parameters of operating in community that is going to either degenerate the environment or regenerate the environment. And so I think community is core to everything that we're doing, and it's the key to our own individual happiness and to being able to be fulfilled. And so every aspect of my life, Niraj, has been, how do we co-design, co-create, and cultivate that authentic community? And it is an act of service. And that's what you do. And that's what so many of our friends do. And it's really a beautiful thing. Our friend Vishen from Mind Valley, bringing people together, putting on those types of events that really galvanize people around a shared vision and a shared mission, and giving them the tools so they can co-design their best outcomes and their life, giving them capacity, breath work. There isn't, I don't know, another modality, outside of breath work and meditation and dance that brings people together, or food, food. That's how we all come together and we break bread together. So there's so many practices that we probably take for granted that if we just stopped and smelled the roses a little bit more, we would have so much gratitude for the abundance that is all around us.
Fully agree, man. Community is a cure. That's what it is. So I come from a Indian family, and so our culture is very much about the family, the community. Everyone's your uncle and aunt, right? So I have like hundreds of uncles and aunts, and so I've always been used to the social aspect of everyone having each other's backs. So wherever you go in the world, there's an uncle who's going to hook you up. Auntie is going to make you dinner, right? There's always someone taking care of you anywhere you are. Except for maybe Kopangan. They haven't got here yet. There's only me who's here, creating little families here. But yeah, like I'm used to that kind of social connection. And in England, where I grew up, my family and our wider extended like Gujarati culture and you know the whole community all stick together. But what I noticed about all of my English friends, you know, they didn't have that so much. It wasn't normal to have so many uncles and aunties who aren't actually your immediate relatives, like all gathering and getting together. You know, their weddings would have maybe 30 people attend, whereas an Indian wedding is 300 people, right? So they would really, you'd notice the difference because I have friends from both sides. That there was good and bad in both. So you know the problems sometimes that come from communities, and when people get very close and intimate, is that there is also challenges of, you know, people becoming nosy. There's more element of keeping up with appearances sometimes. There's some drama. More drama can be involved. There's also community standards. So I know here in Copenhagen, if you know, it's changed now, but in the past, if you did an ecstatic dance a certain way that was different from the rules, you get judged, right? If you you know, put on a workshop that wasn't completely aligned with the community's values, it may not, you know, get like a good reaction. So there's always these things you have to think about as well, right? When you're living in a community, there's always some elements of challenge that can come up. But then on the other side, where there isn't so much of a community, I found people getting extremely lonely, especially in old age. Because in the Indian culture, as you get older, and I'm now getting older, I think about these things. As you get older, right, in English communities, people get lonelier, and people end up sometimes living on their own in nursing homes and never seeing their kids or family, and end up kind of dying pretty lonely, right? And there's this big problem. And as a community pharmacist, I was a pillar of society as a pharmacist. I worked with a lot of old people. There was a lot of aging population I was taking care of. And you'd see, you know, when you'd go to a nursing home, like how depressing it was, how sterile, how cold it'd become. So, but then there was way less drama often in when there's a nuclear family where people don't even know their neighbors. There was only drama within the family, right? But then here in the Indian communities, there's a lot more drama, but there's also a lot more love and a lot more support, you know, if things go wrong, right? But then there's other issues, some dogma can come in of like who you marry. Like, you know, you can get judged for marrying the wrong person. Luckily, my community is a bit more open-minded, but some of my other Indian friends came from more strict cultures. They were completely banned from marrying anyone who wasn't from that same village, basically. So, you know, there's so much to think about when you're creating a community, and the values. And I think the core values are so important for everyone to uphold and to actually have a democratic means of, you know, making that work. So tell me a bit about, like, you know, your experiences with actual living in communities and how you've dealt with some of these challenges that can come up.
Well, you know, I think we share some of the similar intergenerational challenges and dogma that can appear of people who dedicate to a certain lineage or mission. And I think it's very difficult for them to see other perspectives, even though the intention is to be inclusive or open-minded. And so, yeah, there was a lot of, you know, I grew up in a celibate, vegetarian, monastic type ashram, and very focused on service work, which was really beautiful, taking care of those in need and feeding people. And those values I've been able to carry forth. However, you know, I wouldn't say that I subscribe to all of the lifestyle choices. And I think there can be a rub that if you choose your own path, that it can be perceived as not supporting, you know, the older generation or not being in alignment, when truthfully it's an evolution. And I think that, you know, it takes time. These things don't happen overnight, but it's okay. It's okay. And really the idea, and I think Ram Dass said this, and my grandmother taught with Ram Dass, and I met him before, is that the best thing that we can do in life is to work on ourselves. And the best thing that you can do is to work on yourself, because we're not going to change people. And so I think if you want to co-design a community, I think that is the main element there. It's about co-design, and it's about aligning values and principles so that you can have a shared vision of what you want. And diversity is really an asset. So having all these great perspectives are wonderful, but functionally, communities can be super complex. They can be there's a lot of pitfalls. People think that living in communes are sexy, and that it's cool, and it's human beings are complicated. We're complicated beings, and therefore, when you get into a community setting, there's going to be complexities, and people get annoyed with certain people's habits and the way they speak. And at the ashram we had to wait in line for showers, and all kinds of like things that we had to do, and peculiarities of different individuals. And you're in close quarters and you can't really escape. And I think the modern commune is a little bit different from that, because I think the best modern version of it is the space where you can have your own privacy in your own space, but you can come together, in community, on a regular basis around shared values and shared practices. And I think it's also a beautiful time to reinvent rituals. I think honoring the rituals of the past, but I think today we have a different set of issues and challenges. And to me, my religion is nature, and community, and really kind of the basic principles. And I've studied all the religions, many of the religions of the world. And I think the problem or the challenge that religions pose is that they separate people from one another. You're defined, and they polarize people, and people need to feel secure in what they believe in. And so our practice is just not being attached to any dogma, respecting and honoring all the stories and the mythologies of all the great traditions, because there's so much profundity and so much depth in learning from all of these traditions. But when we get stuck and we think that that is the path, it's great if that is the path for you. But when you start to impose that on anyone else, then it becomes proselytization, and then it becomes dogma. And I think that's where we run into challenges. And so as we enter this post-religious and almost post-capitalistic environment, I think the most important thing about having cohesive community is really co-designing a set of values and principles that we all can ascribe to, or the people that you want to live with, so that you can learn from one another and you can build a solid foundation. And so I think new rituals, a chosen retreat, we're really focused on honoring the nature rituals. We do respect and honor a lot of the indigenous traditions and the four directions, and really honor, the moon and the lunar cycle, the lunar and the solar cycles as well, our equinoxes and our solstices and our moon cycles, because that is what connects us most with nature and the cosmos, is being mindful and aware of those ancient practices. For us, is just very universal. And I think people should have the right and freedom to design their modern commune and their modern rituals the way that suits their needs. And I love that's what you've done with SOMA Breathwork, and you've taken all the good stuff of community. And just like my wife is Colombian, Jimena, and she's beautiful and inspirational and super spiritual, and very connected to a lot of the indigenous wisdom traditions. And she grew up in a Catholic, it's Latin American family, much like the Indian, family unit. The Latinos are the same way. And you've been to Colombia and you know how it is. And it's very beautiful. You often see multi-generationals living together. And I think that aspect of those traditions and those communities are really valuable and something to emulate and to hold on to. And living next to family and community is very valuable and something that nourishes us very deeply. And so I think those aspects of those traditions and those cultures are really wonderful to emulate. In the US, we have done a tragedy to our elders by separating them, putting them in old age homes, and many people are left to die alone. And there's so much sadness and loneliness that's happening with people in their end of life. And we have a senior care facility for low-income seniors at Chosen that was started by my grandmother, and we hope to evolve that, as the restrictions expire, to have integrated intergenerational mixed income, and end of life support systems for elders that are going through what should be the most beautiful transition of your life and these death positive experiences. And I think that for me, Hinduism, which believes in reincarnation, that is something that, is and how Hindus celebrate death as just a transition. I think that is a helpful practice, in terms of embracing something that is shrouded in a lot of fear. And I think that is something that we hope community can help to alleviate or mitigate, is fear of death. And I think that is something that I think is really powerful, as a practice, being death positive and embracing. And I think breath work of anything is one of the best tools to be able to embrace your own mortality and not try to avoid it, but love it, embrace it, and celebrate life. And I think the more we celebrate life by dancing, by loving, by being in deep connection, the more fulfilled we all feel, because we're all going to die at some point. That is the most commonality, common trait that we all have. But how are we going to live in the present and in every moment? And that what defines our life. And how do we want to be remembered? Do we want to be good ancestors and be good stewards of this land? Now is the opportunity for us to come together. We have different set of issues than we had during medieval times, and other times. Right now, we're dealing with a climate crisis. We're dealing with a resource crisis. We're dealing with a crisis of trust. And that's why I say success moves at the speed of trust. And in community, it's all about creating safe containers, based on trust, so that people have the safety and have the security to express themselves from a place of trust and security. And I think that's really what community is really about.
I love it. And so the fear of death thing that you're talking about is so interesting, because who took care of that before was religion. Religion was the keeper of, what happens when you die. Well, organized religions. And, all these rituals that exist in all these ancient religions and modern organized religions, they keep the community together. So, Christian communities, everyone goes to church. The Hindu communities, people go to a temple, right? Then you have these Buddhist temples that people will go and flock to, and they'll live around it. So the community would get created by a church, right? So, the church builders, the stonemasons, Freemasons or whatever, they would go build these amazing monuments, and then people would worship, and then they'd create, communities around it. And Kopangan here, this community started, this tantric kind of inspired community, started because a school called Agama Yoga set up shop here years ago, maybe 15, 20 years ago. And so at the same time, this pyramid yoga where I did this ecstatic dance, and everyone went there for tantra workshops and classes, and then that turned into a cult, and then a lot of people moved here, and it became what it is today. Right now it's remnants of that, because Agama got corrupted, and the guy ended up being a megalomaniac, sexual deviant, and was abusing people, and it all came to the surface, and that whole thing collapsed. But the community is still here, right? And it's all evolved, and people don't even talk about Gamma anymore. But the same kinds of people are still here. And now Instagram has brought all different types of people here, and then there's people now who are like refugees from war-torn places like Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, these places. So now there's a very different community to what was here before I left, when I moved to Ibiza. And what's happening now is that there's communities within communities in Copenhagen, which wasn't such a case before, where there's now Israeli communities with a big they have their own like land almost, where they have their own church, what do you call it? What's the synagogue? And then you have The Orthodox Christians have got their church, but everyone still lives together. Everyone still goes to the ecstatic dance together. And when you go to that, it's like everyone's known each other for years, right? So there's still these central secular places where all different communities come together to celebrate together, which is something unique from other places in the world. But the modern invention of club culture was the new renaissance of the church, in my opinion, back in the day. It's different now because it's very much corporate, but back in the day, what happened was there were loads of divided communities in England. And remember, England was like a Christian country. So there were churches everywhere. And then this new church opened up, which scared the shit out of the authorities, which was the raves. And there you'd get all the youth coming together, and they were all different cultures, all different colors and, ethnic backgrounds. And there, under the, influence of a little bit of MDMA, like people would just be in love with each other. It was like love was back, you know what I mean? Whereas when they go back to work, they may not even speak to the person next to them, for like days. They may not have a conversation or even know the name of the person working the cubicle next to them. But then when they go out on the weekends, it's like a whole different world. So people like escape into these other communities. And when I came to Copenhagen was where I realized that it's possible to take the goodness from the club culture and create a recreational experience that isn't, like messy and full of drugs, and something that's much more sustainable. And it becomes like part of the frequency of the whole land, right? Whereas in England, people would do it for about one day and then go back to work, right? Here, it's the general frequency of the people who live here. And I've always wanted to be able to create that, because I worked as a pharmacist in the community as a respectable person in the pharmacy, but I was, a respectable member of the society, of the community, but I was poisoning people every day, and I felt a deep void in my soul and absolute depression doing what I was doing, because I didn't believe I was serving the community at all. So I would escape and go out and get wasted every weekend, down my sorrows, and celebrate life with all these other people who are doing the same thing. And my religion became the weekend clubs, right? So, like, what I'm trying to say is that, like, I really do think that there's a longing in places like England, these places where there's a lot of divided communities, where there's a lot of disillusionment in the culture of those societies that they come from. Like, there's a lot of religious people come from a religious kind of community who've become disillusioned with the way things are going in society, and they really want to find something they can be a part of that makes them feel more a sense of belonging. And I really think right now there's the fact that we've got the internet and we've got interconnectivity, and we can get on planes and we can travel and fly and move around. It's the time where we have an opportunity to really build something where it spreads around the world. And it's interesting, there's somebody else on this call who I didn't know he was going to be on here, called Dominic, who actually, 17 years old, was part of the Vajrayana Buddhist community. And he ended up becoming the head of operation and helped create the entire ashram network around the world of these Buddhist community centers. And he went and became a SOMA Breath instructor and became part of what we're doing. And we're going to definitely be doing something very special together. And he was telling me how even in the Buddhist communities, there was disillusionment happening, right? And the same thing I've been noticing in the Osho communities. There is a bit of, people looking for something better. And the interesting thing about Osho was he is a bit like, maybe we are like the next generation of what he was trying to do, because he did achieve it. He actually went to America and created a city, his own city, and he had loads of people like support that and build it, and he had all these different people coming to richly rebuild a utopian society all around his teachings and practices. But the interesting thing is that if it wasn't for Osho, there would not be Ibiza. I don't know if you know that it was Osho that brought his followers from the city where they all got kicked out of, who brought MDMA and dance culture to Ibiza. And they started the hippie, full moon party type events that then caught, the attention of local DJs, and then boom, then it turned into the Ibiza that we know today. So just, this is what I'm trying to say is like people like us, like people like everyone on this call right now, just by going out there and creating a little movement of your own or community of your own, wherever you might be, you never know the influence and the impact and the butterfly effect it might have around the world. But what I will say is that there is a real sense of urgency in people. They really want to find the others. They want to find the people that are on their vibration, their frequency. I speak to old friends of mine from when I was working in the pharmacy and even before that, school, and there's a real disillusionment with the way their community is right now, the mainstream community, and they really want to figure out, how do we get somewhere else? Where is that next place? So do you want to share a little bit about what can people do? Like, let's say you're feeling a bit lost, a bit disillusioned. Like, I was blown away by when I went to Dubai, and in Dubai, a lot of people have moved there who were feeling disillusionment from places like LA, New York, England, all these countries. And then this promise of no tax, so many entrepreneurs have moved to Dubai, and Dubai has now become an incredible place. Like, it is phenomenal where it's going. And the things that you're talking about, safety, security, being taken care of, right? All of that stuff, family, community. I felt that there very strongly. I think the local Middle Eastern culture is like that they are very much about brother. Everyone's a brother, right? Everyone's a sister. And they talk like that. They're super happy everywhere you go. Everyone's like so friendly. I've never been to a place that's so amazingly friendly everywhere you go. And there's a huge spiritual movement there, amazing energy there. There's a vibration that's really exciting. There's a lot of like forward thinking, innovation happening. And I've been very drawn to maybe that being a place, because of some of the things that are unfolding there is like, it's looking like that's the place, because this guy created off the back of 3 YouTube videos I had, SOMA Breath videos, a 1,500 people wellness community where they can come together, not all of them at the same time, but every week. He has a couple of times a week, people come to his house. He had to upgrade his house to his garden. He has a huge garden to fit more and more people. And this guy called Ian, and we're going to be collaborating on some things. And he's created a movement of his own, of my free videos on YouTube. And it's amazing to see that. And so there are these places that exist. So do you want to inspire the world and tell people what can they do? What are the opportunities? What is some of the things that people can take action on? And I will just say that at the end of this, for those of you who want to stay, there's going to be a bonus where I'm going to do a breathwork session called Community is the Cure. But we'll do it at the end of this after we've taken some questions and stuff. Yeah.
Thanks, Niraj. And I know some people are coming and going, and so I think we're going to be providing all of the attendees with a free pamphlet on how to build community and some tools and some advice and a framework essentially on how to co-create and co-design authentic community within their own communities. But I do want to address one of the questions that was in the chat, because a lot of people, and you spoke about this, and you mentioned something interesting about Dubai, which is an urban metropolis, and many people feel disconnected in the current urban environments. And future of cities, many think, is only focused on urban environments. But the reality is that the majority of people live in cities, and the majority of trauma, community trauma, is happening in urban areas, and particularly underserved communities with food deserts and noise pollutions and all kinds of things that are just assaultive to the nervous system of living in those environments with no trees, that are concrete jungles. And you do have examples, urban examples like Medellin, Colombia, which has planted millions of trees and has green roofs and has green walls and has agriculture integrated into it. So I think we have to rewild our cities and re-village our cities, just like Dubai and other places, to create sanctuaries and oases within the urban context so that we can heal humanity. And I think technology will be part of it, but ancient technology has to be our work, the breath work, the meditation, the regenerative living way of life, eating healthy and organic or regeneratively sourced food, working with your local vendors, knowing the butcher, the baker, the barber of Main Street, really building on those small entrepreneurs. And that's the best way to revitalize a local community. Dr. Moreno in Paris came up with this concept, the 15-minute city. And basically, the idea of a 15-minute city is that you can walk or bike within 15 minutes of where you live in any neighborhood of a city and get all your basic needs met, your community center, your pharmacy, your supermarket, all of your basic needs to be met. So if you're in urban planning or architecture or design, or you're in policy, or you're just a resident, or you're an artist, you can make your voice heard of the ways in which you want your cities to be designed, so you can get out of the automobile, so you can interact with other human beings and other species outside of human species. When people come to Chosen Retreat and they see birds and they see bobcats and they see manatees and dolphins and all this wildlife, they're reminded that we're a multi-species planet. We're not a single species planet. And I think we've become disconnected from nature, and we tried to create these barriers in buildings and homes. But really what we need to do, we are nature. We're not separate from nature. We are a part of nature. And I think what we need to do is really important, is be, and I'm kind of an example. I live part-time in our eco resort, which is on a 22,000 acre nature preserve in Central Florida, Chosen Retreat, where I can tap into that source. But I live half my time in Miami Beach, where we have a climate innovation hub in Little Haiti, in an underserved community that we have been working with for the past 25 years. And so I think that we need to live in the modern world, and we need to, I call Miami the Atlantis of our generation. It's a city that is most affected by climate change and sea level rise, but it's the place that's receiving so much influx of wealth, not unlike like Dubai, because of the pro-business and low taxes and lifestyle. But is this going to be the capital of capital, as our mayor often says? Or can this be the capital of conscious capital, where we can be the poster children of solutions, climate solutions, regenerative seawalls, and really rising from the sea level rise and coming up with solutions? And I truly believe cohesive community is the root of those solutions. That is the medicine, that is the cure. And if we come together and we align on principles, we all want clean water. We all want clean air. It doesn't matter what your religion or your political affiliation. We want our children to be safe. Whether you're pro-gun or anti-gun or whatever you are, we all want to live in a safe and holistic community where we can eat clean food that's healthy, that's organic, that's locally sourced. And so there's many things that we can do in the local futures movement, in the circularity movement that helps us feel more connected to community. And I think that's supporting local businesses, that's going to farmers markets, artisan markets like the one that we do at Chosen, that's really supporting your local community and co-creating. And that's what it comes back to. Part of what community, being a community member, is being available and there for that community. And so it's not a one-way street. You can't just expect community to be there in your time of need if you're not reciprocating. Community is about this mutualism. It's I'm there for you and you're there for me because we're good human beings. It doesn't matter what you believe, doesn't matter what your religion is we're humans. We're one family. And I'm often reminded of the overview effect from the Apollo mission when in 1968, the astronauts went into space and they, instead of having the spiritual experience of seeing the abyss of space and the cosmos, turning back and looking on this blue planet that has such a special, unique condition to sustain life and how important and how fragile that is. And it is our duty as humans to figure out a way that we can thrive in balance with nature, not take nature for granted, not extract anymore. But we are smart enough. We have the ancient technology and wisdom. We have the modern technology and wisdom and AI and all these exciting advancements in medicine, gene editing, and cancer vaccines, and all these things are coming out. Well, we are not dumb. We are super intelligent beings, and we've got the incredible capacity to really be smart in the way that we design our communities. And I think, like you said, Niraj, the work starts with the individual. If you can't be right within and really cultivate your inner landscape, you're not going to be able to, build authentic connections and real connections with folks. And people are going through a lot of trauma. And so I think it's about being authentic. It's about being vulnerable and being able to trust the people that you're in community with. So when you are in a challenged moment, you have people to go to that can mentor you, that can support you. And the same applies when other people are going through hardships in their life. It's about reciprocity and it's about regeneration and it's about, as my grandmother used to say, to drink while you pour, to continue to fill yourself as you're giving, because this act of, being a community leader or a galvanizer or a convener does require a lot of energy. A lot of energy goes out. There's a lot of interactions with many people, and that can be draining if you're not doing the inner work and you're not building the foundation, working those spiritual muscles, as you know, are very important to do. And so I think there's a number of things that you can do. And one of them is really gathering with people that are like-minded and going deeper with a few people. You are who you're surrounded by. So be mindful. Don't waste or squander that. It is a privilege for people to be with you in your presence. All of you that are out there, don't underestimate or undervalue your time. Don't give it away freely. Be intentional about how you spend your time because we're not getting any more of it. It is our most precious commodity. Time that is spent doing things that bring you joy. And the more joy that you have, it's the law of attraction, the more joy will come to you. It's this gratitude practice. And I think one of the simplest things we can all do in our meditation, whether you're a meditator or not, is just in the mornings and before you go to bed, just, think either in your mind or in your heart what you're grateful for. Two things, three things that you're grateful for. I can guarantee you, in the hardest of times, especially, if you can tap into that frequency of gratitude, it will transform your life because most of us, and we all have challenges. We're all defined, by how we react in the most challenging moment. Nobody has an easy life. There are challenges, there's obstacles, there's things that come at you all the time, but it's how you react to those and whether you see those as happening to you or happening for you. And the more we can look at I've learned the most from the most difficult times in my life. I was nearly bankrupt multiple times. I've made millions of dollars, lost millions of dollars. When I first met my wife that I've been with now for 16 years, going on 17 years, I was losing my house in foreclosure. I had a Prius, which was the only thing that was not, leveraged or financed. And I was living in her one-bedroom apartment. I had gone from being the top realtor in a very large commercial brokerage, in a real estate brokerage, to, the financial meltdown and nearly losing everything. And met multiple times up and down, but nothing has changed in my life. I've still had the most amazing friends, amazing communities, the most amazing gatherings. In the entire, when I didn't have two nickels to rub together in Argentina, magic was all around me, because magic is not about what you have in the bank. Your currency is your community. Your currency is the inner landscape that you cultivate and the love that you have for self. And I think that's something that I will recommend to everybody. And in a recent journey that I did, a plant medicine journey, I just gave myself a big hug and said, I love you, Tony. I'm proud of you, what you've done, what you've accomplished, your heart. And each of you on this call and out there in the world, can you just give yourself a hug and tell yourself that you love the person that you are? And what I realize is, someone who was raised with a lot of love and in community, I don't ever do that. I don't ever tell myself that I love me. And it's not a selfish thing to do. It's very important that you love yourself and you appreciate yourself and that you're kind to yourself. The kinder you will be to yourself, the kinder you will be to other people. And so these are just some practices that have worked for me. And I can't say that I'm an expert. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a philosopher. I'm a community builder. I'm a regenerative placemaker. And I truly believe that those are simple practices that span across all different faiths and beliefs and religions and non-religions, that we can do, that are universal to just being happier and being more connected.
Beautiful, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so the Soma Breath community is very familiar with self-love by now. It should be. And I love my life. The ultimate gratitude mantra that we sing every day and wear t-shirts with the big letters on. So this has been fantastic. So why don't we look at some of the questions that people are asking? So Piotr may have gathered a few that have been coming around. Maybe somebody wants to actually even turn on their camera and speak. If anyone wants to put their hand up, they can put their hand up. And Piotr, feel free to ask any questions that have been written in the chat.
Thank you both so much. That has been already incredible. Like, we are all just filling the chat with some amazing feelings, and we are all emotionally charged, energetically charged. So incredible. And please feel free to use the chat right now as well for any questions. I do have a question here from Damaso, which I'm going to share now. I'd like to know, what plans do you have for the kids? Are you considering to develop anything that will empower the development of the new humans by helping them develop their unique talents and abilities?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't know, Niraj, if you want to speak to the children stuff, but my wife and I don't have children yet. Hope we've had challenges in that department, but we will be blessed one day with children. But we have, our community is our children, and our responsibility. And we do now programming for children, and I'm really excited that we're going to be launching our nature camp for kids and for parents, to really connect deeply, where they can do workshops separately, but they can do workshops apart. And our mutual friend, Dora Luz, who came there, is going to help do her workshop of intuition, and really, helping kids who are so tapped in, who haven't been tarnished by all of the things that us adults grapple with and the attachments we have, to really hone in their intuition. And so, our mission, and with our artisan markets and our safari weekends, is always to welcome families. And I think that that's really important. And as we develop our community, we're launching a membership at Chosen now, which is really exciting. Our nonprofit is being also brought to bear. That's all around bioregional hub, demonstration for regenerative living. So yes, the kids are the future. The kids are everything. So we have a school site on the property that was already predetermined by the ashram. And so we will continue, and we'll probably open a nature school or a green school or some form of that. in the future once the community is developed. So yeah, big plans for working with children, and children are the future and they inspire us. They're our greatest teacher, and they're what give me hope for this planet, because every time you talk to children, they're so passionate about, about the environment and about being good stewards, and really about being responsible and being, not wasteful and resource conscious. So I think the children are the future, and I'm very excited too. And we're looking for facilitators and people who have experience in doing innovative, new, cutting edge stuff for children. So anybody, and we did our sock bay retreat, which we had dance and we had tantra courses and we had a camp for kids with my dear sister Maria Yatrikis, who lives in Mexico City, and brought their whole community, and it was beautiful. So we definitely are looking to co-create more children program at Chosen and at the hub in Miami as well, and in Jacksonville at our Phoenix Arts and Innovation District. We're already doing some programming for kids in the neighborhood. So yeah, super important. Thanks for the question.
Love it. Beautiful. Yeah, and I actually have a little daughter now, two and a half, and she is a product of a Indian and a Russian from completely different parts of the world. And we came together because of the magic of this Mind Valley community that I was talking about before. And before that, I wasn't very interested in having a child because I didn't feel like I could bring up a kid in where I was living in England. It just this was too depressing a place. So I was like, I'll only have babies when I can raise a child how I want to in a place with the values that I share, right? And it happened, right? So I found that person. It's just incredible to think, like, just in 2010 I was crapping blood 40 times a day, and housebound, and then all the magic that's unfolded since, and then being here, on this call and talking to you, and all of this has unfolded all because of finding the others. And it all started, and this is a little tip for all of you, and you're all actually doing it already, with me doing a little search on YouTube, found this meditations I really love by this 17-year-old kid from California, and then connecting with him and then helping him to get out to the world. And he had a Skype chat group community years ago. We're talking 2010, right? So from that, I made so many amazing friends. It can just start like that. You can create a community just on WhatsApp with just creating, a little group on there and of like-minded people. In fact, in SOMA Breath, I've spoken to doctors, and in England, there's a doctors community where they do SOMA Breath every morning. I've spoken to people all over the world. Everywhere I go now, there is a WhatsApp group in that region where they do like SOMA Breath meditations, as a ritual, as a practice. So there's all these people, and a lot of them are instructors, have gone out and created their own little tribes and communities. And then we all connect virtually like this. And it's amazing how it's all spreading thanks to technology. So what we had back then was very kind of basic technology compared to what we got now. There's so many tools now. You've got Telegram, you've got Zoom, you've got Facebook, you've got TikTok, you've got Instagram, you've got so many different platforms. So we can start collectively just by the internet, by connecting through the internet and doing things virtually. And then from that, what happened was I started my own online thing, and that started to grow. And I started to meet amazing like-minded people as a result of that. And just being a part of that Skype group was part of the recovery from when I was in a chronic illness, because it's amazing that the community really is a cure. When you find people that are on your vibration, your frequency, right? And maybe some of you feeling a little bit lost, a little bit alone, disconnected. Maybe you've never had a conversation with your neighbor, and when you go to work, nobody says hello. Maybe that's what you're used to, and And this has made you feel a void inside, because human beings are social animals. I mean, we're meant to connect. We're meant to say hi to each other. We're meant to make eye contact and high five and stuff like that. And maybe, you know, like as a result, you might have got sick, you know, and which is what happened to me. Well, just by being part of a little Skype group, my life started to change. I started to heal. It was phenomenal. Just the peace of, yes, there's other people like me in the world. I'm not the weirdo who thinks this way, right? Finding the others. Terence McKenna, favorite quote of his is just find the others, right? Find the people that you feel belonging to. And that led to so many phenomenal things. So many things have come from that. So all of you can go out there and do that. You can all start your own little tribes, your own communities, your WhatsApp groups, your Facebook groups, and make events, throw events. Take my free videos if you want, play my app, and start getting people together and breathing together. The thing with SOMA Breath is we breathe together, and there's something magic that happens when we all breathe together and connect with the breath in unison. And actually, the word conspire means to breathe together. Inspire means to breathe in, expire means to breathe out, conspire means to breathe together. And conspiracy became a dirty word. Like a long time ago, the Catholic Church changed the word, the meaning of it back then. But conspiring was what people used to do when they used to come together. They would breathe together, and that meant thinking together, praying together, living together, and thinking with the same values to make whatever environment they're in better. And and so we need to conspire again. We need to, and that's what SOMA Breath's all about. That's my big grand conspiracy, is to get everybody breathing together. Because seriously, magic happens when we do that. We connect on a spiritual level, a soul level, instantly when we take a breath with each other. So I really want to be able to do that later on. But let's take some more questions. We got a few hands up. So Piotr, go.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much. Shane, I'm going to unmute you right now, and the floor is yours. The mic is in your hands.
Hello, guys. Blessings. How are y'all?
Amazing.
Great to see you.
You as well. Thank you. Beautiful speech. Beautiful work you got going on. It's very touching to my heart. Myself, I have a community together. I mean, amongst the SOMA Breath that I've joined the community. But beyond that, I have, with a couple people, we have 150 acres in Puerto Rico that we are building a camp and getting things rolling, and just putting like minds together to make it a reality. Based. Do you know the Ray Orca with the Moksha Family Collective in Miami?
Moksha was a tenant in my first building where I have the Climate Innovation Hub, which they had, conscious community there with the Marleys. Yeah, Ray is a very good friend of mine.
Amazing. So yeah, you already know what's going on. Yes. So yeah, we're actually heading to Puerto Rico here with another gal in the group here this weekend to check out the property and to go over everything. I mean, total, I think we've explored maybe 5 acres of the land. So there's a lot of land there that needs explored and felt out, but there's greenhouses on the property, there's running water, there's electricity, so everything to get it rolling. So yeah, I just feel super inspired by your story and hearing you talk about everything you have going on, and I'd love to connect and bring our minds together and maybe link up in Miami and see what you have going on down south.
Sure. Well, follow me on Instagram and on Substack, and we have every Chosen Retreat is there. I'll put it in the chat so you guys can follow and connect with us. But yeah, would be happy to. I love people building communities, and I think we're in this post-competitive world where we need to share best practices and knowledge and help people. And this is where this concept of kind of this alliance of lighthouses have emerged, and I have friends all over the world doing communities. And I think the more that we can share, whether it's regenerative systems, whether it's, new methods of growing food and all different types of tips and frameworks, I think this is what's going to help us evolve to the next level. So happy to share anything that I can. And, we'll probably be expanding Chosen Retreat outside of Florida. So we're looking at some projects in Portugal. We have, through the Future of Cities, the Portuguese Golden Visa Fund, and we've raised some capital there. And that's going to invest in some of our projects and IPs of what we're doing around Chosen and the future of cities. So yeah, you can learn more on following me on Tony Cho. And yeah, happy to connect anytime.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm actually a general contractor based out of Jupiter, Florida, so not too far down the way.
Great. That's very close.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
Awesome.
Thank you for your time. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Shane. Thank you very much. And also, Monica, if you can type into the chat all the events and retreats that SOMA Breath is also organizing, because we have several retreats happening this year. So on top of Tony's events and retreats, join as well Niraj's retreats. Let's make this, as Tony said, it's all about co-creating, collaborating, community, all of that, right? And we're all standing here. That's why we're all here together, because we truly believe in community collaboration, co-creation. It's time to get out of all these other ways of just feeling that we are separate and different. It's all about coming together, coming together. Julian, I see your hand is up. I'm going to unmute you now, brother.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Brilliant. Okay. I just want to say a massive thank you to Tony and Raj. I came into this session a little bit late, but what you guys are saying is just mind blowing, and I totally resonate with it. I'm fairly new to SOMA. I only took the full transformation package and breathwork package beginning, I think, on Sunday through Kira, who I've formed a beautiful, beautiful friendship with. So I'm so excited, and just what you've been saying about community, yeah, really touched my heart, and I totally get it. I'm here at the moment in Fuerteventura, down in the Canary Islands. I came down here for a holiday to get away from. I had a terrible year last year with losing my job. I was getting divorced, selling my family property, suffered with depression for 11, 12 years. And I wanted to just get away. So I came to stay with a friend, and I've ended up buying a villa here, which is absolutely a dream come true. And I actually see now this is I am going to build a community, a SOMA community here in Fuerteventura. This is the most amazing island. The climate is unreal all year round. Sunshine, northeasterly trade winds, never gets too hot, never gets too cold. Amazing beaches, lots of Spanish, lots of British, lots of German. This will be a perfect place to have a retreat or a community. And I feel like since I did breath work with, just following other people. I started with Wim Hof. That was my introduction to breath work. Then I started following Dan on breathwork beats, and then Sandy, Breathe with Sandy. And it was great, but there was something missing. And I found it with SOMA. The fact that the combination of music, the breath work, the meditation, it's just amazing. And I've never been so happy in my life. I've never had so much energy, positivity. I don't want to hog this space. I do apologize. I'm going to be quick because my battery's about to go. But like today, I play golf. I'm so happy in myself. I love myself. I've never loved myself before. And I had one of the best rounds of golf in my life. And it just feels like everything is aligned and everything is happening to me because I'm so happy and oozing energy and positivity. I feel like I climbed Mount Everest at the moment. And it feels like, I'm 61, I feel like I'm 40, and this is an awakening for me. And I really am going to build a community here in Fuerteventura. And Niraj, what you said about meeting your beautiful wife, I believe now that I am going to meet my future wife through SOMA. In fact, I don't believe it is going to happen. And I have got so much love to give, and I'm ready to receive so much love. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Respect. And yeah, Julian has quite a story. Like they probably take up the whole call, but I'll tell it for you.
Sorry, I just.
No, but I'll tell it for you because it's worth listening. But synopsis is he was the captain of cruise ships, and then was disillusioned with that, and went through a crazy bad period of his wife, divorce, everything falling apart, and then the breath brought him back into balance, which is amazing. And now he's like a whole different person. Respect. Turned it all around. That's what we like to see.
Thank you so much, Julian. Thank you.
Yeah, respect.
Now, we have two more people that want to speak. We have a very special Tony. I'm not sure whether you actually know this person. She's a very special community member. We have Diana here. Diana always comes to each of our events. So I'm going to unmute Diana, and she's going to share some love with you and all of us. Diana, the floor is yours. We love you so much, Diana.
Love you, Diana. You're the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Right on. Thank you
Amazing.
so much, Diana.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Diana.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. We will see you at the Sunday Breathe Together session. Thank you, Diana. Thank you so much. Amazing. And we have Sahil. I'm going to unmute you now as well. And if you have a question, please fire away.
Thank you so much. Indiana, we felt that energy. Thank you. That was very powerful and inspiring. I just wanted to share, I sent a few things on the group chat. This was such a beautiful Zoom to join. I joined by chance. I'm part of a conscious entrepreneurship group. These WhatsApp groups that send different links. I was just like, this topic seems interesting. Let me see what it's all about. I'm born and raised in New York, New Jersey, Indian by background. So a lot of the 500 people weddings, and that's at a base minimum plus more. I've been in the world of business development, my own business. We have a successful global enterprise in the fine jewelry space. And as I turned 40 last year, also searching for my life partner, also with all the existential questions. 4 years ago, I just had this notepad where I just wrote like X marks next to the word competition. Like there were 3 C's that I felt were like killing me from the inside: commercialism, capitalism, and all the words that you guys shared were just in my notes of collaboration, community, consciousness. And what I noticed is I'm looking for a way for deep social impact with the skills of entrepreneurship. Last 10 years, spirituality, meditation, breath work, yoga, all of these have been part of my support parts of life, but never like a moving force for ahead. And when I listen to these different things, I've also noticed life in New York City doesn't really serve me anymore. At this moment, I've seek to be living in different places with 2 years in LA, but part of my calling feels like it's to learn from people like you all and probably what the Zoom call entails, and then bring it back to big cities. Because when I look at the lives of my married friends with kids and how like the kids are being raised and how, while everybody, even though has a large community, there's something flawed in the way that word is, because everybody still doesn't talk to their neighbors. There's a big me first attitude. And even when you meet people, it's transactional. It's what's in it for me. And then you leave and then you meet again 3 months if there's something for you. It's scheduled. You don't just give unless there's something to be received. And there's something that when I just look at it, there's 20 million people in New York. I know it's not the way of every 20 million person, but the way that the urban ecosystems are evolving, I feel it's part of my duty to shift that. I have no idea how, because I do get caught up in the storm, and I feel it's impacting me from mindset, my inner energy, and that's why I've been looking to step out. I took my first sabbatical ever last year for 6 months. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just seeking inspiration for different people. And as I started this year in January, I feel blessed to be part of this call because the different types that you guys are saying are just ideas of inspiration. And I would love to help out, be involved, learn as a part-time basis with the maybe broader goal of how do I bring this to urban spaces, because that's what I know really well. While I know I can move out to a different retreat and spend the rest of my life there and find a beautiful life partner, I think I want to learn something through that and help maybe, I don't want to call it the unconscious urbanites, but maybe people that know that there's something different that they want to live with for their kids, for themselves, but maybe just are a little bit stuck in there's no other way. I live here, I have my bills to pay, I do this. And that's the people I really want to help, because I know hundreds of people like this that are just like, yeah, if you hear something, let me know. But they're just in this race that they don't even know they're in the race. And I don't know, I'm very, very emotionally drawn to this topic. So I would love to connect after, to learn, to be inspired, and to share with others. I don't really have a direction just yet, but hearing this really charged me up this morning, and mind, body, and soul ways. And I'm very grateful for this. So thank you, Niraj, Tony, and the creator of this, and everybody listening. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, cities are where it needs to happen. It's easy to go to a utopian eco village and feel the love and feel the community, but really the mission, and that's our mission at Future of Cities, is to really reinvent the built environment. So it does feel regenerative in cities, and that we have to do it because the majority of people are living in cities. And, by 2050, 70% of the world's population is going to live in cities. And so it's incumbent upon us, if we want to survive the evolution of humanity, we've got to figure out a way to consciously and get away from transactional and be more intentional. And that's a very hollow existence, the transaction. And we all deal with it. We all experience scarcity at certain moments in our life, and we all want to cultivate this abundance consciousness. And I think that that's how we are going to design our community. And some of the ways is through urban planning of rewilding, revillaging, our hearts and minds, but also our cities and our communities. And like I said, like places like Medellin, Colombia, that's bringing the natural world into the built environment, is a place where we will feel more connected to nature. And maybe the new temples and churches and mosques are nature places. Like in Japan, you have Shinto temples where you go through and it's just Japanese gardens and places where everybody can feel welcome. And so why don't we co-design our cities like you're in an eco resort? Why don't we dedicate plenty of space for green and open and civic? The tragedy of the commons, we have to reclaim the commons for humanity to be healthy. It's not just for the few, it needs to be for the masses. So I could rap with you for many, many, many hours on this. So yeah, feel free to connect with me. I put my email in the chat, and happy to discuss anytime.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Sahil.
It's all about the healing the cities. So I'm very inspired by that. And Medellin, I was staying there for a bit, is a beautiful example of nature coming into a city. So yeah, it's possible. And Dubai, I'm seeing it happening as well. Like they're literally rewilding the desert. It's happening in Saudi Arabia. There's many parts of the world where there's a lot of innovation, and it gives me a lot of hope, a lot of optimism. I heard about this one thing, this type of way of living. And so we have these two polarized viewpoints, right? Capitalism and communism. And societies have been built around either capitalistic society or communist, right? And so there's good and bad to both of those. And communism, the people who are really into that, and socialism, are usually they want equality. They want they want they don't want like corruption to happen where they feel like people get turned into slaves. And then the capitalists feel like that's an idealistic dream, right? And then what I've realized is that basically communism can work. There's some good things about it if nobody has to do bullshit jobs. And this is one of the problems and I think why people are so depressed. There's even a book called Bullshit Jobs that about 95% of the work that people do is just bullshit. It's usually it's not even necessary. And it's just because there needs to be something that drives this capitalistic machine. But there's an evolution of technology and innovation happening right now at a scale that is beyond belief, which will mean that a lot of these jobs are going to get replaced by automation and robots. Now, there's some serious consequences that can happen of that. Unemployment, people without jobs being replaced, displaced. What are we going to do? But if there's a way to deal with that, what the future is going in the direction of is this idea, this theory of fully automated luxury communism. And it's where robots do all of the shitty jobs, so no one ever has to do anything that is boring, hard, abusive, and toxic. And humans would do things more based on their passions, interests, and creativity. That's actually where we're supposed to be heading in some utopian fantasy. That looks like it could be possible. So I was just wondering, what's your thoughts on that, just quickly?
So it's interesting because I published, and actually this week I'm releasing this article on protopia versus utopia. Kevin Kelly from Wired magazine, the futurist, coined this phrase in the 90s, I think. And I think utopia is unattainable. And I think utopia is a subjective thing, right? It depends on your culture, where you grew up. Somebody in Nairobi's version of utopia could be very different from somebody in Miami. When I've been to Cuba, 6 or 7 times, and every time I talk to the people there on the ground, they don't believe in the American dream, having the house and the white picket fence and the commercial bag of goods, that we were sold. And I don't either. I don't believe in any of that. So I really think that it's much more pragmatic to believe in protopias, where you're going away from dystopia, but you're really incrementally stepping to a higher state of being. And so for me, and it's totally subjective to the culture and to the environment, the built environment, the natural environment of the place. And so I'm a much bigger believer in protopia versus utopia, because I just think that utopias are unattainable. And we didn't achieve it in capitalism. We didn't achieve it in communism. We didn't achieve it in socialism. So this concept of, a hybrid where we can protect humans and really have them invest in more of the creative arts and the healing arts and have time. If we can create space, like I met a guy at a conference, the Priority Summit of Saudi Investment Trust here in Miami last week. And this guy was telling me about how he automated his whole life leveraging AI, and it created 90% more space in his calendar so that he could do things that he loves. And that's a good example of using technology to liberate yourself so you can do the things that you want, because we weren't designed to be creatures staring at a screen 8, 9, 10 hours a day. It's not natural. It's not healthy for our bodies. And that's why I love this integration of dancing at the beginning of this, doing breath work at the end. Like, we are embodied beings. We are not detached from our bodies, and we need to get back into that. So I think there is a new world that can be for the better, but we have to be involved in how we design it. And you have to be the steward of your own life and of your own lifestyle and not be a victim. Don't be a victim. Embrace technology, but don't let it own you. It's about appropriate technology. How do you utilize it? I loved in the Jewish tradition that they do Shabbat and they do Sabbath, and they take a 24-hour recess from talking about business, theoretically, and from using technology and from driving cars. It's a beautiful practice. It doesn't have to be tied to a religion. Everybody can adopt what works for you. Try them and see what fits in your lifestyle. How does it resonate with your feeling, with your cells in your body? And that's really the litmus test, is how do we develop in regenerative living and regenerative thinking and development? It's all about developing your own inner knowing, your own intuition. And how does things resonate with you? You don't have to accept anything that's fed to you, all the information that's coming in. How does it resonate with you? So yeah, I'm very fascinated by the future of protopian, like Kaizen in Japanese philosophy. Some philosophy is gradual incremental improvement, because it's not about the destination. It's about the journey, right? It's about every day, every moment is now. And how do we optimize and live and be as present for now as possible, and see what we learn from the past so we can incrementally achieve a higher state of being, of existing, of consciousness.
Beautiful, man. I love it. Beautiful. So let's just take one more question. There's James. He also lives in
Absolutely.
Florida. So it'll be good for him to speak to Tony, I think.
James, I'm unmuting you right now and adding the pin. Welcome.
All right, can you hear me?
We can hear you now, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Niraj, yeah, so nice to see you guys again. Spent the retreat with these gentlemen. I had a wonderful week. Tony, thank you so much. I just wanted to get online and tell you that I'm a South Floridian. I live in Boynton Beach, but I lived in South Beach from 90 to 2003, so the evolution of that town. Now living further north, but I want to volunteer for your cause at any time. So I know that I have your information. I just wanted you to see my face and know that I'm willing to come and be part of your community and put forth the vision that we've been speaking about today, and bring some breath to it as well.
Please, I would love to. I'm really honored to have SOMA Breathwork in our chosen community, in our Future Cities community. We have a community hub in Miami. We've got one in Chosen, and we've got one in Jacksonville. So I would really love for you to teach a course, and for even doing a teacher training, Niraj and James, like in our communities, like spread the more people are doing breath work, the better this world is going to be.
Yeah, well, I saw in participants there's somebody in Bureau, Jupiter. There's a few of us around. We'll get together, and as for myself, I really would just love to get to your property and just get my hands dirty with you guys up there and see what you're doing. Honestly,
every Friday is Garden Volunteer Day, 9 to 12, and then we just launched the nonprofit Chosen Center for Regenerative Living. So we're going to be doing our first fundraiser on Earth Day weekend, and we definitely need a lot of support, because building community is not easy. Niraj can tell you it's a big lift, and it's a lot of responsibility, and many hands make the load light. And that's really what I believe in, is just galvanizing people together. And it would be an honor to have you and the SOMA community teaching breath work at Chosen. Please bring it on.
Yeah, my sister's a big advocate with an organization up here called Peace, so they'd probably get involved. I have my nieces and their children. We'll bring everybody along, because we have our own little community here. We all live within a mile of each other. So we're that Latino family in Boynton Beach.
I love it. That's a prime example of what we were talking about, is building that community, like we talked about, the ecosystem, the revillaging, putting your village within a city, within an urban context. So it's amazing.
Yeah. You were talking earlier about the elderly, and that's what brought us all together here. I moved from South Beach here with my mom because she fell ill, and then everybody kind of just started coming down around us. She's no longer with us, but she certainly brought us together, and it's a beautiful thing. And I just want to be able to come and help in these kind of situations. So I feel blessed today that I was on this call with you guys. I mean, honestly, I saw it come up in our SOMA community, and I was like, I got to find out who this guy is. And I'm so happy I met you today, honestly. And I hope to see you in the future.
Great.
Thank you.
And Niraj, Pietro, all you too. I'm going to see you guys soon.
100% we will. Thank you, James.
Have a beautiful, blessed day.
All
James,
right.
thank you so much. We truly hope you still go by the name JJ, though. You remember the retreat?
Yeah,
It was
I
JJ.
do. JJ Breath.
JJ Brett, that's it. I got goosebumps all over. Oh, it was such a pleasure to be with you on that retreat. All of us.
Yeah.
Thank you, James. Thank you, JJ, so much. Thank
I'm
you.
at level 2. I'm getting there.
Yes. See you very soon, brother. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So I think we should wrap it up for today. I think it's been a really great conversation, and I'm sure it won't be the last. And we'll be connecting again. And when I come over to States, or maybe we'll see each other somewhere else in the world, we should brainstorm and see what we can do together. It's going to be exciting.
Let's do a summer retreat at Chosen Retreat anytime you want. It would be our honor and a privilege. You've developed a beautiful community, and we are the community of communities. We welcome all communities, all camps for the humanity of the future. That's what we call it.
Like, yeah.
The humanity of the future.
Totally. That's what we love to hear. All right. So so do you want to just drop where people can find out about you? And for those of you who want to stay, I'm gonna put on the community's The Cure Breathwork Journey. It's only 20 minutes long. But it's really an amazing way to end this whole thing. But Tony, if you want to put in your information where people can find you, follow you, and if you have anything you want to talk about, final last words before we.
Sure. I'll put in the chat where you can find me and my website, and we're launching a YouTube channel and Substack. And basically, I'm based in Miami. We have our retreat center 2.5 hours north. We have volunteer programs. Next weekend, we're doing our artisan market, and we have a safari weekend. So you can check us out at Chosen Retreat to learn more about co-creating awesome programming there. And anybody interested in investing with the future of cities, we have a Portuguese Golden Visa Fund, and you can directly invest in either of any of our projects here in Miami, at Chosen, or in Jacksonville. So excited. I have a book coming out later this year, so we'll let you guys know when that happens, and maybe we'll have another program together towards the fall. And, we got to figure out, Niraj, I think Kate put in the chat, how people outside of the US can watch our episodes on Road to Utopia, because they're really wonderful. So we'll figure that out. There's a link to at least to the trailer. And I think that Kate put in the chat my episode. So I think you could probably do the same thing, Niraj.
We're allowed to do that?
I think we can if it's directly to folks, but I don't think that we can. Anyway, we'll find out.
Yeah.
But eventually we will be able to do that. And I'm excited to be part of this community, and I'm looking forward to this breath work and looking forward to co-creating with all of you very soon.
Beautiful. Amazing. Thank you, all of you. You're amazing. And if you haven't downloaded our app yet, definitely download the SOMA Breath app. There we have loads of different breathwork journeys. We have live classes. It really feels like a community hub. We have that track Amazing that I played at the beginning. And obviously we do loads of retreats and events all over the world. So check out the website, somabreath.com, for the listings of what's on, and get involved, get inspired. Let's breathe together. Let's conspire. So let's go through the instructions on how to do this for those of you who are new. And I just want to, just before we start this, because this journey can bring up some stuff, I just want to ask, for those of you going to stay, who feels a little bit disconnected from the others in their community, or a little bit disillusioned with the community that they may be living in right now? You don't have to say anything you don't want, but if you just want to write in the chat, it'd be just interesting to see. Yeah? Can relate? Okay. Yes. So you're probably feeling like how I was several years ago, and and it was through the power of the breath which really changed things for me. When I changed my state and started to see my past with a new light, and then start to tune into a new frequency of information, because we only absorb so much information at any one time. But when we change the filter, the perception filters, we can tune into opportunity and possibility rather than the negativity and disillusionment. And when we start to tune into that reality tunnel, a magic happens. So this track is about that. It's about stepping into that new reality tunnel of opportunity, possibility, and community. And in the word community is unity and coming together. And the breath is the one thing that truly unites all of us. We all breathe. And when we breathe together, magic happens. So this is going to be great for all of you people who said that you're feeling a bit disconnected. So what you want to do is very simple. You're going to sit down with your back straight, upright position, or you can lie down on your back, okay? And you're going to close your eyes and breathe with the music. So when in the music you hear the word in, you breathe in to the beats. You'll hear it say in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. So you're breathing in time with the music, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So just practice that. And what you can do is you breathe in as though you're breathing in through your pelvic floor, breathing in, contracting up the sphincter muscles, the pelvic floor up on your breath, and then letting go. The very relaxed exhale. And as you get to the bottom of your exhale, you breathe in. So you're creating like a pump, like a circular pump with your breath, okay? This is the bliss pump that creates this big, increase in the positive hormones, all right, like dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. These are the chemicals of transformation and chemicals of bliss that makes us feel a little bit higher, all right? So you're going to breathe in this rhythm, and then when you get the command, you're going to take a deep breath in, breathe out, and then hold your breath after full exhalation. And you're going to then hold your breath as you cannot hold your breath any longer, all right? And then you'll get a command to take a deep breath in, send the energy all the way up, and you hold your breath in for a few minutes, okay, a few seconds. Not all of you can hold it for minutes, but a few seconds. And then you're going to hold it in and then hum. Hum. And you're going to or hum a couple of times, and then you start the next round, okay? This is all done to music, and all the instructions are guided within the session, okay? So don't worry if you don't get it right now, you'll get into the flow eventually. And if any of you have fit any of these criteria, like you're pregnant, you have epilepsy or uncontrolled hypertension where you may have just had a heart attack, then avoid doing any intense breathing. So you can just do the slow rhythmic breathing, but don't do any intense breathing. Don't do any fast breathing, because the breath gets a bit faster throughout the session, okay? And otherwise, if you're mindful of, if you have any medical condition you're not sure of, then, maybe get some medical advice before you do this. But most people, if you've got a pair of lungs and a beating heart, you can breathe, you can do this. All right? Okay, so you ready? All right. Okay, so grab a seat or lie down and just enjoy the feeling. Just go with the flow. Don't think too much. Don't analyze, am I doing this right or wrong? Just go with it. You may go off the rhythm, doesn't matter. Just go back into it when you feel like it. And just, just follow along with the guided instructions. Very, very easy and effortless to do. And then what will happen is you'll just get, the music will breathe for you. That's how it is. Okay, so let's get ready to breathe together. Let me just share the sound. Okay.
Sit comfortably with your back straight in an upright position, or lie down on your back in a place where you shall not be disturbed. And with your eyes closed, bring your awareness to the sound. That's right, any sound that draws your awareness in this moment. And the sound of my voice that shall be your guide on this journey. And notice as you bring your awareness to this sound, the words in your mind, the voice in your head, gently fades away, drifts away, taken away with it the pains, fears, frustrations and worries of the day, bringing you more and more present with the sound. That's right. Allowing your mind to become still and more present with your breath as you breathe in. You squeeze every single muscle in your body and then release with a sigh of good feelings. That's right. As you become more and more present with this sound and this experience. And then again, taking another deep breath all the way in. Raising up both your shoulders, trying to touch your shoulders to your ears and tightening and squeezing every single muscle in your body. Squeeze tightly. That's right, keep squeezing and then release. The sigh of good feelings, making you more and more relaxed, more and more present with this experience. That's right. I want you to imagine in your mind's eye right now there's a movie playing, and on this mental movie, your own creation, imagine there's a movie playing right now of a moment in your life. It could be one from the past or one set in the future, where you are surrounded by a community that you absolutely love to be a part of, love to belong to and contribute to. And right now, you are celebrating life together. in whatever way you want to celebrate life right now. Imagine seeing it, feeling it, becoming it. The collective energy of togetherness. Each and every one of you coming together as one tribe, the one mission, to celebrate the joys and passions of life. That's right. And raise the vibe. Turn up the dial on those good feelings, good sensations of celebrating life with those you truly love, those you truly admire and respect, together in love. And notice as you breathe in a rhythm, you amplify this feeling of deep gratitude, love for life. That's right. So get ready. 3, 2, 1. Exhale and in. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. That's right. Keep breathing, keep connecting. 4. Out. Feel the love moving through you. 4. Into you, around you. 3, 4. That's right. 2. Turn up the dial on those good feelings. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. Coming together in love. 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3. That's right. Out. Become one with the love. In. Of each and every one of you right now. 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Together. 2. In love. 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. Become the celebration. 4. Out. Celebrate life. Come alive. The energy. 2, 3. Deep joy. Gratitude. 2. Love for life. That's right. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. 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 In. All your favorite people together as one. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Living in harmony. 2, 3. Living in unity. Out. 2. Your perfect community. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Now, take a deep breath in. And breathe all the way up. Exhale fully and hold your breath after a full exhalation. And completely relax and become completely still, knowing that all this magnetic energy, the vibration of your entire community is flowing through you right now into every single cell of your being, fine-tuning you at a cellular level to the frequency of attracting your dreams, turning a dream into a reality, a vision into the present moment. That's right. And if you get an urge to breathe, when you feel that strong, deep sensation to breathe, you feel this energy building up inside, take a deep breath in. Hold and release with a tone. And breathe in, 2, out, 2, in, 2, out, 2, in, 2, out. This time letting go of the sound, 2, on your exhale, a sigh of good feelings, 2, out, 2, sound of 2, out, feeling, in, 2, out, love, 2, in, 2, feeling, out, joy, in, 2, feeling, out, 2, a harmony, deep within, out, the core of who you truly are, out, connected, in, 2, out, a community that loves you, supports you, is a part of you. And now take a deep breath in and hold those words in. In this moment of deep inspiration, hold it in and send this energy up and up, pulling up the Ashwini Mudra, pelvic floor muscles up, contracting, sending this light of a higher power for frequency of truth, a command to the universe to bring you everything you've just seen and felt deep within. Yes. And release with a tone. And take a deep breath in and breathe out and hold. That's right. Feel this energy waking up inside, becoming alive. Send this energy up and up, turning up the dial on those good feelings, good sensations. Yes, you are amazing, miracle of life. You already have everything you need to receive. Infinite love, health, wealth, abundance are all yours. Invite in the love. Open the heart and breathe. In, 2, out, 2. That's right. In, 2, out. Letting go of that breath of ecstasy. Out, 2. That's right. In, 2, out, 2. Feeling in that charge. Out, Charge it up. Fill yourself up. That love from above. Breathing in the lights. Breathing in deep insights. Letting go of that feeling of ecstasy, joy, passion, of love. That's right. Feel energy. You are in the divine ecstasy. All together in love. And now, take a deep breath in. Hold and take in those words as a moment of deep inspiration. And see, witness the lights illuminating your vision. Make it clear, make it bright. Celebrating life, your perfect tribe. Because you are amazing. And release with a tone. That's right, getting ready to breathe, connect, liberate. That's right. In, two, yes, deep in, two, letting go that sound. In, two, pure joy. In, two, of pure love. That's right. In, two, in, two, in, wake it up inside. In, two, in, two, in, two, in, celebrate life, come alive. Two, in, two, in, two, in, in, let the inner dance smooth inside. As you celebrate life, the frequency of joy. In, two, in, two, in, two, in, two, in, to see the smiles of everyone, celebrating life, in, see them beaming out happiness from inside. That's right. In, in, breathing in that light. That's right. Now take a deep breath in and breathe all the air out. And hold your breath after full exhalation and go deep within your own mind. Imagining now that you are connected back into the source of all that is. white light coming through you, into you, around you. Fine-tuning you at the cellular level. The frequency of pure love, becoming a transmitter, creating a vision that will become the present moment as you allow the entire being to come into full alignment with the community, the tribe, the friendships, the loves, relationships, the celebration of life. Together as one tribe, one mission. And when you get that strong, deep urge to breathe, override that first urge and count down in your mind 10 down to 1. Or if you need to take a sip in, breathe back out, continue holding, going deeper and deeper to that state of eternal, ethereal wonder. And then when you feel that energy growing inside, tuning into you, around you, within you, radiating like a charge of a higher power. When you feel this growing, take a deep breath in, all the way in. Send this energy up and up and up and up. Raise your arms to the sky. Send this energy, collectivity, togetherness, community, unity, high, far and wide. And let go with a tone. That's right. Enjoy this blissful feeling as long as you wish. Coming back into normal breathing, knowing that as you leave this experience today, you shall do so with a new sense, positive energy, connected to the light, the higher power. And notice as you vibrate at this higher frequency of thought, as your heart becomes open, become aware of those who want to offer you love, support, friendship, those who share the same values as you do. Those that make you feel really good, full of love, so you can become an even bigger giver of love, and allow them to come into your life, so together you can grow and expand this mission, bringing peace to this magnificent planet Earth. Much love and positive energy for the day ahead. Peace. So slowly coming back into the present moment. So 3, coming back into the present moment. 2, opening your eyes. 1, fully present and alert. And much love, everyone. It's been a pleasure, an absolute blessing. Thank you so much, Tony, for this phenomenal conversation. It was fantastic.
It's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you for sharing your community and your practice. It's really beautiful.
Beautiful, man. And for those who just did this maybe for the first time, if you want to, you know, like some of the things you can do beyond this is to any things that come up, any ideas, inspirations, you can journal, you can paint, you can do art, you can be creative, you can take action on what you want to do next. You can go and find the others and create your WhatsApp groups and start your communities. And we also have an app, the SOMA Breath app, which has loads more different sessions, different themes, different uses. There's a whole pharmacy, so you can all check that out. And got some great feedback here. Someone's first time says it's transformational. So yeah, definitely have a browse through there. It's loads of free stuff, and then there's a little subscription if you want to go a bit deeper. And this track is called The Community is the Cure. You'll find it in the SOMA Breath Journeys on the app. There we go. And yeah, check it out. So that's it. I think we've been on for 2.5 hours. There's plenty of time. And definitely contact Tony, get involved with what he's doing. Go and check out his amazing space. I shall be doing it, and we'll definitely do a SOMA Breath retreat there in the future, hopefully in the near future. And yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. Have a blessed day, everybody. Take care.
Love you all. Peace.
Much love. Peace.